one of the things I wanted to clarify, because a lot of the listeners come from states that are different than Ohio. In Ohio, incompatibility has to be by agreement of the parties. You cannot have unilateral incompatibility in Ohio. And getting back to your question, what the Ohio legislature did in their wisdom in the early 1970s, instead of adopting no fault, they kept abandonment as a cause on the conduct-based causes for divorce, but it reserved it only to the abandoned party. Only the abandoned party is supposed to be able to get a divorce in Ohio.
See, that's common sense. but of course, it's not very common, right, in Ohio?
Well, the difficulty is that the court had this separation clause. And again, a brief overview of separation for the listeners. Very brief. It started in the 19th century when people would go out west and they would disappear in the prairie. And they had waiting periods of 5 or 7 years. If the husband didn't communicate, the wife could get a divorce. Wisconsin was one of the first states for separation. Well, Ohio adopted a separation statute and living apart without cohabitation or interruption for a year. Well, what the judges are telling people, in effect, is that you can abandon your spouse, and if you manage to stay away from them for a full year, we'll give you a divorce. Even though the same legislature says that's a crime, even though the same legislature says abandonment's only reserved to the abandoned party. But that's what the judges say in Ohio.